Oh, come on. What is that noise?
That's what happens when you live in a dodgy part of town.
Never mind. It's going to be okay.
Let's go and tell that guy on the drill.
Let's go to somewhere where we can film this bloody show without some...
Hold on.
Drilling something into a wall, putting some art up or something.
Should have done it from the Yumcha.
They had no power or internet.
The Yumcha?
Oh, the Yumcha.
Oh, yeah.
Yumcha would be quite good.
We could put the camera on a Lazy Susan, just go around like that, filming us.
Although ethically, I do have a problem with the crayfish being in a tank.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just don't like looking at them.
But we're not doing it in the Yumcha. We're doing it here.
We could have done it in the Yumcha.
We can't. We've got no cameras in the Yumcha.
We take
No,
them.
we could have put some cameras in the Yumcha, and at least then we would have had drilling. We might have some chink of the chink as in the noise, not chink of the people. Might have had some noises, you know.
Right, welcome to the TAB Sports Cafe. We are very excited to do a special today. All Black team's just been announced. What do you mean? It's special.
Oh, it's special.
I mean, how often do we get to do a show around a big announcement like the All Blacks being announced?
This is our first big live cross.
Yeah. Can you remember when you named in the All Blacks for the first time?
Oh, it's a long, long time ago.
Oh, okay, again. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it's very different than what we're waiting for here. Like, we've got a big thing, and people all around the country. We used to play a trial, probables versus possibles. And shortly after the trial, over a few sherbets, there would be an announcement. You know, there'd be people who are very happy, people who
So you're all collectively in a room together,
yeah.
and some people would not make the team and some people would make the team.
Yeah. It must have been like Miss New Zealand back in the day, I suspect, when, you're all standing there and
Like
they just go, you and the others, and they walk off.
Just like that. Exactly the same.
Yeah,
Exactly the same,
and the
yeah.
three that we've made it, I'm going to save the world.
We've got so much in common.
You should film all that, eh? Those little moments, So I heard you had a bit of a mozza.
Yeah, who's not going to get
That's a good
selected.
question. Was there a camera in there for the naming, or is it?
Yeah, but they were probably up on the guy reading the team out.
Right.
It was all very formal.
Yeah, it needs to be like the Oscars, where they don't get it.
What went through your mind when you were named as an All Black? Because you were young.
Yeah, but I just thought choice. That's great. But it was back for tours at that stage. I think it was in any event, you at the very least you're going to get 6 weeks holiday.
Right.
So that should have been a bit of fun.
Yeah.
They should have that again, though, the trial, eh? The probables and the possibles.
So you must be happy as a Cantabrian after winning the Super Rugby.
Oh, the Super. Yeah, but look, it's what would I know about it? It was a tight game, and I think best team probably won.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I actually watched it in bed.
Right now, we're very lucky to go into the All Blacks camp where we catch up with Coach Scott Hansen. Very exciting naming the All Black team, first All Black team of the season this week.
G'day, Rick. How are you, mate?
Yeah, well, I've got some bad news. It's not just me. It's Mark, Lee, and Lana. So sorry about that.
Welcome along.
G'day, Mark, Lee, and Lana. I've got some bad news too, which I'm sure you would have preferred Razor and Mud on here. We've got some better comments, but I'll do my best for your team.
So you've named a few new caps in this All Black team, so pretty exciting for them. What was the thinking behind some of these selections?
Great opportunity earned to put on the black jersey, the form through the Super campaign. We're excited to get them in the black jersey, and we know that they'll grab it and wear it well. The timing's right for us around just seeing a bit of blood, new blood around our game, and they've all went the right.
Nice. We're just discussing what is the process? Are they all in their own houses, or are some of the All Blacks there with you today? What is the process for them to actually find out that they've been named in the team?
Yeah, good call. There was a number that were involved today, so they were contacted by Ray yesterday, which allows them to come up and be here. And then, just like it's always been done traditionally, there's one or two today that find out through the announcement, which is a fantastic All Black tradition.
Yeah, exciting for them.
The final, I didn't watch it quite as closely as I ought to have, but I did have it described as being very South African. There was a lot of a lot of tight stuff and a lot of set piece, a lot of high ball. Is that the sort of game we're looking to replicate or to play? I mean, it seems that if you don't, you're kind of shot a wee bit. Like the rules are around sort of, it feels like slowing it down and making no errors, as opposed to that sort of flamboyant, aspect? And do the selections sort of solidify any intent?
I felt there's a lot of opportunity to use the ball. I understand the pressure of the game and where they went into the air. I'd really like us, and as a coaching group, we will, to encourage the group to find space differently. We've picked a midfield that's going to give us some gain line and some carry, and that's going to create space elsewhere. And the most important thing there is the players are looking up and attacking the obvious, and we'll drive that mindset. And we feel we've got a highly skilled team that allows us to do that. And we've got a full pack that, when required, we know we can grind down through the gears and push teams around the field.
The game is of limited opportunities, obviously, at that test level. Ginge Henderson, somewhat of a genius, said over a coffee a few months ago, when you've got the best catchers in the world at lock who have trained to go up and take your kick off, which is so mandatory and standard, why aren't you booting it along the ground, sort of between the 10 metre and the 22, as hard as you can toward the sideline? Because they're not so bloody good on the ground trying to pick up a ball.
Too tall to
So it's got to be too tall, and they've practiced going in the air with that whole structure. But along that, he reckoned he had probably 30 or 40 things that you can do like that would change the shape of the game, just sort of rejig it a bit.
Are you talking about innovation?
Yeah, but specifically as an example of innovation, the kick-off along the ground, like hard and fast at the shins of these giants, I reckon there'd be a dead set chance that 50% of the ball you get back.
Yeah, I like it, mate. I'm taking notes. I do believe there's the opportunity to look at the game around where the space is. How can we use our skills? We understand the pressure of Test match rugby, but there's also the ability to be creative and how we shape our game. What you're saying there, Mac, I agree, mate, around we can be brave and we can do things differently.
Well, if that happened, good news is nobody watches this show, so it's not going to get picked up anywhere internationally. So if it does
I must admit, I'm surprised to be on today.
Can I ask you about some of the specific selections? So Du'Plessis Karefi, what did you see from him this season?
Maturity, just his leadership in the Wellington environment, the Hurricanes, his intensity around the ball, Rick. He's a leader through actions. He's committed himself to be an All Black. He's had opportunity to get overseas. He's bit down through disappointment. And he's earned the right to be here through sheer influence on the game.
And what about Fabian Holland's another one that's sort of really had a great Super Rugby competition?
Yeah, he has. Big man. Works well. Works hard. Does all the simple things really well. And he likes to have a presence around his contacts. So we're excited, really excited to have Fabian involved.
It must be a great thing for you as a coach, selector, etc., to be able to tell a young man that you've made the All Blacks for the first time, shake his hand, look him in the eye and say welcome.
Exactly. You're talking around young men achieving their dreams. And not only that, but their partners, their families, and how deep that goes. So it's an absolute privilege to be involved in that process. And just to see the look on their face and know how much it means for them. And there's going to be, there's always guys working towards their first test. But the Bodie Barrett's just as excited. And he's up near the 130, nearly 40s. So today's special for all of them. It's a great chance to sit back and for them to be really proud of where they're at.
With the constraints that you have around an action-packed game, and I've oft taken the mick out of rugby really being, sadly, 23, 24 minutes of action versus league, which is 80. And so I do think that it's got a bit of a bloody challenge ahead of itself, particularly marketing the product outside of New Zealand.
Mm.
Within that, and the current way that it's structured with everything so methodically looked over, every one of the 125 rules fastidiously maintained, where is the innovation? Where's the opportunity to come up with a game plan or something that's more free-flowing that suits our New Zealand Antipodean style of rugby? Or are we going to have to follow the leaders, namely, the British who make the rules and the South Africans who implement those rules better than anyone else?
When you're following, you're normally behind. So what can we do around our game to get in front? So they are the things we're asking ourselves, mate. When we look at the selection, we look at the makeup of the group, which is going to allow us to move. If you think about it, Mac, we have to be the best at adjusting during a game. So we may have a process to start, but how well can we adjust? I often get asked around, what's your style? Well, the All Blacks are at their best when they're adjusting quicker. So we're very lucky that we've got the Bodie Barretts and the like and the experienced players to allow us to do that.
Yeah, but look,
I'm not really answering your question around innovation.
No, well, I mean, there's only a few things that are available to innovate. But where I find frustration is when you've got these South Africans, by way of example, who always at the time that there's a bit of a blow going on, need to replace a contact lens or have a boot that's untied, and the game stops for it. In league, if somebody's knocked out, they keep on going. And that's the point where the All Blacks are so innovative, when we've got the team tired, when we're fitted in them, when we're more agile, and yet there's these bloody allowances for people to slow things down and grind to a halt, and the laws allow it. That must be incredibly frustrating if where you're hoping to play is in those tight areas where you've created a weakness.
So that last 20 minutes used to be huge.
Yeah, it used to be huge. Yeah. Now they bring on a bomb squad, and if the bomb squad gets tired because they've defended on their line for 5, somebody gets a contact lens that needs to be replaced.
Yeah, no, it's fair, mate. It's fair. I think you embrace the challenge, and what we do every week is we go through a process with the refs around where we want to be, around how we want to play the game and the speed that we want to play. So we're always challenging that. And the biggest challenge for us is, as you've just said, within the rules and where we are currently, how we can get a step ahead. You've got to use what's in front of you.
The first match course is the French test. What do you know about those guys? What team are they sending down here? And the selections you've made, has that team come into play at all, or are you picking the best, All Black squad for the future?
Lee, what I know is the last 3 tests we've played against France, they've come out on top. So they're going to be very good coming down here. The rugby up there is beautiful. Their competitions, they've got great health through their game. European champions, Six Nations champions, great depth and flair through their game. They will bring a very good side, and we'll have to be preparing to be at our best.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the French, is they will bring an exciting, in much the same way as we like to play the game. If there's an opportunity to loosen it up and to create some space, they do it. I recall playing against the French sides occasionally, and there are times when the backs and the forwards just combine to such a level that you can literally just stand there and clap. It's just, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Used to be in the day, that only happened for 20 minutes of the game, and then you'd always win. But now they're doing it for 80 minutes. It's quite an extraordinary thing. So I think that'll be a really good series to watch.
All right, mate. We'll let you go. Congratulations on the selection, and now you can get on with the coaching bit.
Yeah, cheers, guys. I appreciate talking to you today. I didn't know you're still going, so well done, guys. Keep it up.
This could be a last show. Yeah.
Thanks, we've got the refib in case he does go down.
Yeah, thanks.
He's in his 70s.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Now we're going live to our All Black expert, because, to our All Black expert on the road, Ali Williams. Ali, what do you think of the All Black team that's just been named today?
What a day job, Rick. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's a great team.
Well, you're the guy that we asked to watch the team announcement to tell us your inside word on what you think about the new players.
Yeah, but you didn't really give me that brief until now, so hard to do something that I didn't know I was meant to do until you told me about doing it.
Well, Du'Plessis Karifi's in.
Oh, that's fantastic. I've been watching him like a hawk. He's got some real chunky thighs and he gets really low over that ball.
What about Tava Nawai?
Did he make it as well? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
He got some genuine pace. He runs a little bit like you with those high knees.
Yeah, just probably with about 3 times the bulk on them. Very good over the ball too. He's like another loose forward in the midfield there. I was stoked to see him make it.
So you haven't really got any insights for us.
No, I was just getting to those.
What are they?
So it seems like they've selected the wingers are really good over the ball to create intercepts and opportunities to attack from.
Oh, good insight.
Yeah, that's Rick. A bit of insight about this show, actually. I feel it's going downhill a little bit technically, what we're doing at the moment. We're causing to Ali in a car. Are you a passenger or are you driving?
Yeah, no, I'm still driving.
Yeah.
Oh, it's flipped around, I see. I thought you were on the wrong side of the road there. You know what I mean? Couldn't we get someone in studio to talk about this important stuff, which like the All Black naming?
Or just a guest, perhaps, in
guest,
studio
a
at
guest.
some stage during this particular
You know,
series.
like it's 2025. You don't have to have people in the studio. Can you remember when you were named in the All Blacks, Ali?
I was on Waiheke Island on a Mad Monday session in a Portaloo.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
enough
Good
about
story.
You could actually, start drawing
So
conclusions from that.
no forewarning that you were going to be on that list that day.
Nah. I was told to sober up pretty quickly after being named. I thought they were joking. Believe.
Can I just ask you something else that was in the news this week? Obviously, the big fight, Sonny Bill and Paul Gallen's coming up. Paul Gallen was saying that Sonny Bill wasn't very popular in the All Black camp, which seems to be a lot of crap. You were in there. He was pretty popular, wasn't he?
Anyone with a last name called Williams is a true crowd favourite.
Maybe he got mixed up with Ali Williams.
Yeah. Now, that would be an easy mistake to make.
That's definitely more likely, boys. Hey, what about on rugby news? The Lions lost. That's fantastic.
Well, I had no idea.
They
They played Argentina.
Did they?
Yeah, and they lost.
The Lions.
Yeah,
Not-
warm-up game.
Oh, right.
And they're going to play Aussie next, are they?
Yeah.
Everyone
You
likes
get
to
all the
watch.
big news here.
Argentinians.
Breaking,
are
isn't it?
Argentinians are the best.
Mate, we better let you go. I'm worried about your driving.
Now, that's inside rugby knowledge, Rick. If you need it here, give me a ring.
Thanks, Ali. All the best, mate.
Cheers, wait.
Right, now the social media clips that you send to your friends, like friends,
Yes.
they give a really valuable insight to how your brain works, what you think about.
Well, we're just trying to perk you up, because sometimes you're quite, forlorn, and we're just going to give you a burst of energy during the
Somber.
day just to pick you up and, bring
And
a
so we
little bit
send
of
them-
sparkle,
Sort of
joy.
half a dozen.
Joy.
And then he reverts to telling us how it says something about our psychology when he picks the worst one and shows it and says, oh, this is the best one they sent in.
Yeah. And I'll send clips to mates. I don't expect them to put them into a TV show every time.
No. It's
But
more.
I do enjoy watching what you guys send in sometimes because it does give me an insight.
I enjoy the surprise I get every week when one of the 10 I send, he picks, and it's the one
Don't send me if you don't want me to use that.
I'm just going to have to send you one every week. But there's some that I send, like the guy's doing a backflip and catches his teeth. Bad flip.
Bad flip.
And you say you can't show that.
No,
Why
you
not?
can't.
It's
It's
Darwinism.
traumatizes people. Did any of mine make it this week?
Can we have a look at? We'll look at Mark's first.
This is just genius, actually. That's what that is.
It's just a guy drinking a beer.
He's not allowed to drink the beer. And every time his wife comes out,
Professional drunker.
So he'll never get caught.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's how every guy sort of thinks, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Because you know the times when you probably shouldn't, but you might.
Yeah, girls think like that too, believe it or not.
Yeah, they do.
No, you think it's just a
But why don't we had this discussion about 20 years ago, but why don't you just be completely on the table? Blank canvas, be honest about it.
Yep.
I'm going to have a beer.
Works for
You've
me.
been,
Does it work
you've
for
been
you?
caught in your laundry sculling a bowl of rosé or something?
Not in the laundry.
No, I just want to. I thought you might have.
We're just hoping
No,
not.
I put it in a cup.
Yeah.
Pretend it's like a
Coffee
milkshake
cup.
or something. No, milkshake, the longest in town.
Move on.
Drink it through a straw.
Because this is what Lana sent us.
What do you guys do for fun around here? I don't know, sometimes we throw shit at Kevin. Who's Kevin? Kevin!
It's a lot better with the noise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think throwing a slice
Explain
of cheese.
yourself.
Well, it's just throwing a slice of cheese. It's just that little, little bit of joy.
It's amazing if you
Harmless
do that
joy.
to a
Harmless joy.
crying baby.
Yep.
Like they're screaming crying baby, you just go slap with a piece of cheese like that. They just go,
Oh, you don't.
It
do
does
that.
work.
and they do not. They
Same
stop
effect.
crying.
They
They
stop
stop crying.
crying.
So do
immediately.
you think it's okay to walk up to someone else's
You've got a
crying baby?
grandchild now. You should try it with him.
No.
You frisbee it. You don't slap.
Yeah, you don't slap it. You
use your
frisbee it.
hands.
You
Have
just
you ever
slap.
done it to a child?
Yes, I have.
Someone else's kid at a restaurant or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Screaming.
On a plane.
Kid on a plane, you know?
There you go.
Parenting 101.
You should
Parenting
always
101.
travel with a couple of cheese slices in your top pocket.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you.
This could be a Christmas special. Big Bro's a guide to parenting.
Can we get people to send clips in of them silencing babies?
Oh, don't.
Oh, well, look, everything's child abuse compared to what we grew
Oh,
up.
I talked about it the other day.
On the arse.
You don't get away with the blow darts nowadays, do you?
No.
Kids. Back in the day, that
Yeah,
was,
blow darts and Christchurch.
you know, a couple of blow darts.
You
and
grew up in Peru.
Yeah. So we had
Poisonous ones?
Amazonian. Well, enough of a drug in there to, you know, just
Anaesthetize it.
sedate the
down.
kids.
Have you seen the salt gun that shoots flies?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Quite good.
Heard of them being employed to sedate?
It was a different time when I was obviously a little bit older.
Just be
than
careful
you.
with what you're going to share.
Yeah. He went to a Catholic
Process
school.
it first. Yeah.
No, I was just saying that,
That's not discipline.
like, it was not unusual to be just play outside till it was dark, you know, like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And no one knew where you were.
Is that your story?
No, it was not a very good story, was it?
But you were about 20 when JFK got
That's
shot,
why
right?
we send you those clips. That's why.
Better material. Is that why I'm not
Got
very
any footage of
popular?
that?
But it is turning into the Matrix, isn't it? I mean, like if your kid's got a cell phone and there's Wi-Fi, they are there.
Yeah.
Whereas in the day, you could be, parents just come back for dinner.
Yeah.
You could be anywhere within 20 square kilometres. Now it's like,
Yeah.
and then once they get that suit that has feeling on it, and you slip into the bowl of jello with the virtual reality headset, then you don't need to move.
So that's exactly the same story that I said, told in a slightly better way.
Well, I knew where you were
just
going with it.
articulated.
So that
Why
way.
that
It's
you've
inside.
got-
Yeah.
So I don't worry about overpopulation. You know, all you need is a bowl of warm jello and a skin suit and a virtual reality headset, and you make your avatar up or you pay somebody to do that.
Yeah.
And then
We'll be
the
there.
sort of thing that happened at your Catholic school, they'll be normal.
Plethora of stories just like that one.
So that's why you've got like 38% of the audience like you and only 11% like me.
That's what they say about Catholic schools, isn't it? You know, you can take the boy out of the Catholic school, but you can't take the priest out of the boy.
This is
No!
wow.
Maybe a few Hail Marys for that one.
This is sort of classic avoidance that Lee doesn't want his bit obviously played today.
Yeah, let's have a look to see what because you haven't. This is like the first time you've seen us in a clip, and this is a bit weird. They're just diving cats.
Yeah, look at the skill.
So these are just cats showing various somersaults off diving boards.
Yeah, it's pretty elegant.
I want to see them getting out of the pool after that.
Yeah,
Well, that's the actual tough part. Is like a cat and a dog. Often they drown in pools because they don't have thumbs. You know, we talked about that last week. But they can't climb. They can't climb out of stuff.
but they can dive off diving boards.
But they're getting out. Yeah, that
Amazing
would be
what they're
interesting.
teaching animals to do nowadays. That's all I'm saying. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Skill.
It's good.
Skill
You,
involved.
good research. And
Yeah.
My clip's a little bit more of a desperate cry for help. Really,
You don't have to play it, Rick, if you don't want to.
I'm going
we're
to.
here for you.
Sneaky psychology tricks to make people instantly like you. Number one, ask people to do you a small favour. This is called the Benjamin Franklin effect. So say something like, hey, can you please pass me the salt? Their subconscious mind thinks that they like you because they're doing you a favour. Two, call people by their name. We absolutely love hearing our name being called by someone else because it makes us feel important and appreciated.
Is she a real person or was it like AI'd?
I didn't hear a word. I just saw two puppies in a blanket.
Yeah, exactly. That's. And that's obviously how you got onto this in the first place. And now you're just disguising it behind
What have you been
She couldn't be
Googling?
saying anything, and
Yeah,
Rick's,
yeah.
she's, you know,
Just,
us the salt.
this is.
She knows
yeah.
why people like to
Maybe you want the
engage
salt.
with her.
Oh, I think it's time to catch up with great swing bowler Trent Boult, who's a Black Caps legend, World Cup hero, and now currently playing in the United States
Greatest
in
ever.
Major League Cricket.
Good morning, good evening, whatever it is.
I just think that the introduction as a swing bowler, I think he's a pace bowler, and swing. But I think he might take offence at calling.
You want to have another crack at that, Rick?
Yeah, I think
No. Do you think you're a swing bowler or a pace bowler?
I would have thrown in a lower order or rounder as well, maybe. But if you just want to specifically say I'm a bowler, that's fine.
He jumped around.
Would you like to introduce yourself? We can start again, and maybe you could start.
You're a pace bowler who swings a ball. Not a swing bowler.
All right, do you want me to do the intro or you're up?
Yeah, if you could do it. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Have the dream intro. How would you introduce yourself?
I'd just say, hi guys, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Trent Boult from Tauranga.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Local, but obviously well travelled, living in the States. How's that going for you?
Not living, technically. Touring is what I'd call it. I'm here with the MLC, the Major League Cricket, they call it, and basically a month tour. Move around America. It's slightly different to my usual calendar, but it's good fun. It's exciting to see cricket maybe take off in the States at some point.
It must be pretty fun doing that. I mean, how much, obviously, you take it seriously, but off field, you must be a little bit more relaxed than in a normal sort of tournament?
Yeah, probably a little bit more freedom than the subcontinent to move around a little bit. My family's on tour, so a bit more freedom to do a bit of touring in the backgrounds of the cricket. But I think it's exciting. It's not in my career did I think I'd be able to come to America and get the chance to play cricket. And it's been good. I've had some good experiences.
Pitches, they're getting that down at about, 150, a fastball?
100 miles an hour, yeah.
100 miles at 160.
100 miles, yeah.
Okay, what's the distance between the plate and the catcher?
How would I know?
Yeah, well, you lived in America.
I actually know because I went to a baseball game the other night, and it's just under 20 metres, so slightly closer,
just
slightly
shorter.
quicker.
Slightly closer, slightly quicker.
Is there a question in that, or is that just a statement?
Well, no, I'm just trying to ascertain, what the. Obviously hitting a ball, but it's got to be in this zone. It can't be short. Can't be. I mean, they can throw it at you, but that sort of
question.
No, I'm just trying to ascertain. What would be more difficult, hand-eye, trying to pick a fast ball or batting in cricket.
So, what do you think, Trent? What would be more difficult than facing a fast ball or a pitch?
Well, I went to who was it? The San Fran Giants versus the Guardians. I don't know where the Guardians are from.
Cleveland.
Cleveland Indians. Now they're the Guardians. And it was an awful experience. And I don't mean to pay out baseball, but I think they hit the ball about 6 times in the 9 innings, and it was 3-2 to the Guardians. So I'm presuming it's very hard to hit the baseball. We had about 6,000 people in the Oakland Coliseum, and I didn't actually hit the ball, so I can't talk. But I would have thought there was a bit more going on in the cricket game, but that's probably just a bit biased from me being a cricketer.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can get quite nasty with cricket. I mean, like the up and under the ribs.
Yeah,
that's an intentional play that hasn't been banned. Whereas if you chuck it at that person, you're liable to get an all in, aren't you?
You seem like a nice, level-headed young man, Trent. But when you're bowling, how do you bring the mongrel out? Is it just natural?
I don't know if there's much mongrel to bring out in me, to be honest. I think I didn't give myself the name, but Lovely Trenty seems to have stuck across the years. And I don't know what that's come from, but probably more likely to smile than abuse you or sledge you. So, you play with too many of these guys to have too many bad relationships because you'll be against them one day and then in the change room the next day. So you've got to have some friends in the business.
Of all time, who was the foulest fast bowler? Like the one who really wanted to, that's the second part of the question, but the one who really wanted to hurt you and had the capability to do so. Was it one of the Indians back in the day, Holding?
I'd have to say Dale Steyn from South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible ability to flick the switch and bowl 150k and basically hit you wherever he wanted. So didn't need to do much talking when you've got those kind of assets under the belt.
Quite enjoyed it too, didn't he? There was like a pleasure that comes from deeming out that sort of that punishment, that mental turmoil.
That's what I was trying to get. Do you enjoy hitting people?
Some people, yeah. I won't give names because that's just going to go everywhere.
Is it mates that you like to get one into, or the dingoes? Surely there's got to be a few Aussies that you'd like to ping.
Yeah, obviously.
And not necessarily cricketers either.
There's a trade-off with the bowlers. I think you're not really targeting. I'm not going to target Mitchell Starc, for instance, or I'd never take on Dale Steyn or anyone of the such because you're just going to get it back. So you've got to be smart about it, mate.
Mm.
You enjoy throwing the bat a bit, don't you? You're like a big six hitter. Did you find when you were hitting sixes that the bowling got a little bit nastier? It's like, okay, you've had your fun, right, time to hit your head.
Yeah, but I'd always try to rein it in against the quicks and then pretend like I couldn't play spin very well. So they'd always go, "Oh, we'll bring a spin on. This guy can't do it," and that's when the fun comes out. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm an illustrious six hitter, but I've had a couple of days in the sun.
What about the IPL? Like, you spent a lot of time in the IPL. Just give us some insight into how crazy that tournament is.
Phenomenal tournament, incredibly long. It's about 3 months in India. Yeah, we all know that the stories with auctions, and you get rattled off with where you're going to go for how much money, and it's a bizarre experience. Been lucky enough to play in 10 or 11 now, so been very fortunate to be wanted in that part of the world. But it's phenomenal. They're besotted with cricket. The fandom and the culture of the game over there is just something you can't really describe until you go over and see it. They just come into these stadiums, not a drop of alcohol, just pure there for cricket and watching the ball fly around and people get each other out. So it's pretty crazy.
Where does the evolution of cricket go? Because I saw the young Australian who came through, who was geeing up the crowd, and the opening batsman who was ramping. He was fantastic, and an attitude which is very engaging for the crowd. And then the 17-year-old Indian chap who came out and scored at some astronomical strike rate. Is that where it's moving to? A more aggressive platform, but also the freedom to actually, show a bit of personality and, not being so constrained by team, just being an individual and, racking the crowd up in your first test. That's pretty damn ballsy.
Well, it's all about entertainment now, isn't it?
Yeah, but is it? Or are you constrained? Is there a sort of a carte blanche freedom to express yourself?
Yeah, I think it is a stage to get yourself on and obviously express yourself, entertain the world. But at the end of the day, there's so many quality players, and you've got to, I suppose, put your hand up in some regard and say, this is what I can do, and try to state your claim in a way. That he was 14, actually, the kid in India, played for the Rajasthan Royals. He got 100 off 31 balls or something like that. Just like 11 sixes.
14.
Just took everyone on.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys were doing at 14 years old, but I don't think you were hitting guys that were bowling, close to 90 mile an hour back over the head for six. That's for sure.
No, it involved balls, but it was.
What are you seeing in the States? What's the cricket like? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's this tournament's a little bit different. You have 6 overseas professionals and 5 local American players. So slightly different balance than some of the other tournaments. So you've got a combination of, the best in the world overseas players coming in and playing, and then playing with some local American players. So
there's some talk in the papers just today, actually, that Virat Kohli may be coming across. They're trying to get him across to do sort of like what Messi did for soccer. Have you heard that?
For which team do we know? No, I didn't know that.
Well, obviously not your team.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Yep, that's probably where the game's going. People come over and promote it and get around it, and he's one of the probably most followed cricketers ever, so it's probably a good one to have.
A little bit off piece here, but you're in Dallas at the moment. Have you had a chance to head to Delhi Plaza where JFK got shot back in '63?
Yep, drove through there yesterday morning. What do you need to know?
It's weird, isn't it? I've been there. It's amazing how small and how close it all is. You realise that was probably a lone nutter that did it.
Yeah, well, where Oswald was stationed,
and
he copped he couldn't have hit him in the back of the head from there.
Well, actually, yeah. When you see it, I've been
it's
there.
Close.
Yeah.
The trajectory, you reckon, was right?
Yeah, I mean, have we got a chart or something I need?
Yeah, I've got it.
We played the Zapruder film.
When you talk about fan base over in India, what's the fan base like where you are? Are you getting good crowds to watch the games?
So capacity at this current stadium in Grand Prairie is about 5,500, 6,000 people. And the finals have been sold out, so it does get full. It's a bit of an atmosphere, but last game I played in India was pushing 100,000, 94,000 was that game. So yeah, it's a little bit different.
I mean, it must be quite different for you, because I'd imagine in India you can't really go too far without being recognised, whereas it'd be pretty safe in Dallas.
Yeah, India is a different beast in itself. We were stationed in a hotel just right down the road from the hotel, and it's about as far as you get, basically. Hotel, there's a little cafe around the corner that we could go around the back service door and sneak in there. But yeah, it sounds like good fun. Obviously going over, getting paid a lot of money, playing a lot of cricket, etc. But you are literally kind of bunkered in your room.
Yeah, you could go anywhere and not. That must be beauty of what.
Yeah,
how you've done it. You know what I mean? You can pretty much go anywhere, even family reunions,
and no one recognises me.
Yeah.
Well, they recognise me, but when they recognise me, they cross the road.
Yeah, they walk out.
Yeah, it's not like they chase me down the. Yeah. We'll let you go. I know it's dinner time, and the last thing I would ever want to do is keep someone away from their food, because I understand how important that is. So thanks very much for joining us, and all the best for you're representing New York, aren't you?
Yep, MI New York is my team, so watch out. We're currently coming fourth. We've won 1 from 3, so big things to come.
Have you actually been to New York?
No.
All right, mate. Well, go and enjoy your dinner, and thanks for your time.
Cheers, mate.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Right, now we've got a few legal issues this week. We had a few. Well, I just make a slight stumble. It's not funny.
No. The legal aspect was what I was sort of chortling about.
What, the fact that we've got legal problems?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought last week's show was relatively sedate.
Yeah, but it's actually something I did.
Yeah. Was it related to the show?
There's a couple of legal documents. No, yeah, there's actually legal documents going backwards and forwards. I'll let Brian explain.
We've had a letter from the lawyer of the former Cannonball who is not impressed by our decision to bring him back without bringing him actually back, so to speak.
This particular lawyer has asked us to cease and desist from showing moments in the human Cannonball's life that he would prefer we all forget.
Stop!
My reply to the lawyer is fuck off. I'm Brian. I'm a wombat.
Can I just clarify for legal purposes that despite obvious similarities, my name is Brian, and for legal purposes, I am not a visual representation of Mark Ellis.
Sportscafe. I'm asking you to please stop defaming me by suggesting I look like Rick.
I mean, if you actually just stay there and there, it's uncanny, the resemblance, isn't it?
It's sort of got my expression,
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to see the resemblance myself.
Yeah, well, you're turning into one.
Yeah.
You're a beautiful animal.
What would your animal be, Lee? If we're going to recreate you as an animal?
Gerbil.
A bit big for a gerbil.
Yeah.
Why would you like to be a gerbil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fruit bat, maybe?
A fruit bat? Yeah, I could see a fruit bat.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to make, is that the way you're asking? You're
You're just looking for some ideas, yeah. What would you be, Lana?
I'm not sure.
Meerkat?
A mockingbird, maybe just.
Oh, mockingbird. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no choice. I'm just a wombat, am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, actually, I didn't really think of it until I saw the wombat, and I thought, oh my God, that's so like Mark. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it does. Sort of, I don't know.
Great.
Wombats are kind of characteristics about a wombat. They're a little bit more endearing.
Yeah, great TV, right?
We're not on TV anymore.
Wow, great pod.
So back when we were on TV, we like to look back at when we were famous, but this week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to look back at the people from the Wakatipu Rugby Club in the White Horse Cup 20 years ago.
Wakatip.
I just want to know if club rugby is still like this, because I hope so.
Hey, we must start, fellas. We've got to switch on front and the whistle. And then we talk about aggressive defence. Crucial. Nice.
She's 14-3 at the moment to us, so boys going good.
Excellent way to finish the half. Well done, Tim. We've got to go forward with the ball. Give the back some decent ball. Rids, it's a great kick from you, brother. Well done.
Well, she's up there at the moment. She's getting a bit scrappy, but fortunately we've got the lead, and I think we'll hold it.
Look, Jack. 3 checks up through the hoop. Left hoop.
This is a long time, 80 minutes, but good effort, mate.
What happened to the eye?
One of the upper Clutha hay balers threw a haymaker, mate, and she's a goodie.
Player of the day today is Paul Tate.
5 stitches today. She was a bloody good one. So busted. I think my eyebrow got bust over as much as your midfield back. So.
That's a good line, eh?
It's good fun times.
Is it like a sign of honour to get a big injury in a game or something, draw blood?
Lee?
Yeah.
Well, the cauliflower is a certain. I mean, back then they were something that we sort of took the piss out of the forwards for. It was
mocked them for
socially a little bit disabling.
Yep.
But nowadays with the NMA,
Right.
Cauliflower lug can be,
Right, yeah.
An endorsement, right.
more
Yeah.
popular.
A bit more
I
international.
remember I went to the doctors to get mine fixed, and because I said to him, he said, "Oh, there's nothing you can do." And I said, "You can drain it out." He said, "Can you?"
Yeah, I had a cauliflower
He didn't know.
from hitting tackle bags. That's how much we had to do tackle
Is that
bags.
right?
I got a cauliflower and they drained it. There's no way I was going to walk around with that.
Lots of pain. Yeah, there's a few. 5
We
stitches
had a
going
guy,
to knock on the eye.
Andrew Roos, and he used to have 2 different sets of boots, one that he'd show the ref and one that had the league studs on it, which were really, really sharp and really long. And he didn't give a shit who was on the ground. He'd just ruck and like to cause as much pain as he could. So he'd
Talons.
stamp on his own play. He's a real liability, stamp on his own players. And I remember Justin Cullen was at the bottom of a ruck, and Roosey saw this other guy on the ground, and he came charging him from about 5 metres, and Cullen freaked out and just grabbed the guy's leg and pulled it over him, and he drove the first stud right up the old raisin.
Oh.
And just opened it up, and the guy was and got carted off on a stretcher. That wouldn't be one that you tell too many people about. That's
It's
not
a
really
horror
a badge of
story.
honour. It's
No.
a badge,
Yeah, no.
but it's a shattered badge.
Did you see him after the game?
No, shit, no, mate. It's like when Higgsy went for... He was watching, had a few beers, watching Dukes of Hazzard, and tried to do a slide over a car bonnet, but the car was moving, and he got this... got the windscreen wiper right up his arse. And they had to, like slide him off it.
No.
And another time when he ran, and the same guy tried to karate kick a fence and hit the top off the fence and just went slide down on all the splinters, and they just drove right up into his groin like 8 centimetre long splinters. Came back to the pub after that one, but they had it all surgically removed.
There's a certain sound of a windscreen wiper going up someone's ass that you can't remember. It's
How can you? What is that sound?
Well, yeah, the sound that the
that's
window wipers making,
Yeah.
or the person.
Well, he was going across.
That's the
Depends if the
person.
window wipers are running at the time.
Yeah, well, what's the window wiper make?
Well, how come he had no
It's
pants
also
on? Was it
it's a visual gag as well, because he was tearing it and he was so happy. Look, watch me, and the car was cruising past. He slid, and the face was all smiling, and then the look of fright and excruciating pain, and then just the freeze. Right, I've got to stay really still here. Don't want to move an inch. Somebody's gonna have to be pulled off the car by a bunch of mates who are squealing with delight and laughing. Now, well, it's a risky
Different
play.
times. There's different times.
Yeah, different times.
What's in your bag?
I just got some good news.
Yes.
DoorDash have given me. I've ordered some bagels.
Ooh.
So one for you,
You just said that along to
You're
Lana.
actually handing them out.
one to you,
Oh,
and then they only ordered 3.
That's fair enough. I love it, bagel. No major problems for me.
I just didn't think that you
Yeah,
needed one.
Keeping svelte.
It's in that.
They got
that's
delivered.
really good.
Is it
That's really yummy.
really come through at the right time? No, it's really noisy, mate. Sorry.
Look up Paul. Is he meant to be up now?
Yeah, Paul from the TAB.
He's got a very short back and sides there.
Isn't he?
Very sort of army-esque.
And it almost looks like he's got a gold
You know that he
chain
can
around
hear
his-
you, right? Just so. Hi, Paul. Welcome along.
Yeah, g'day guys.
Did you listen to the All Black announcement?
I did indeed.
What were your thoughts?
It's a very crowded midfield. So obviously someone like a Tava Nawai or Rico Ioane will probably be playing some game time on the wing. The debutants are quite interesting. I'm happy to see Karifi get in. I think he's probably been one of in the top 3 Super Rugby players the last couple of seasons, so he deserves a spot.
And you brought some bad luck to the Warriors by going to the game?
Yeah, well, I tried to encourage the referee to make the correct decisions. He didn't hear me, though. But yeah, we'll see what happens next time I go up there.
And what do you reckon the odds are going to be like for this, the French versus the All Blacks? I reckon it'll be pretty damn close, huh?
I don't know because, the French name their side tomorrow morning, their squad, and it just depends on what sort of makeup. Look, we've lost the last 3 tests against the French, but those have all been over there. The last time they were here, we beat them by 13 points and I think 20-something points. So it all depends on the sort of makeup of the squad that the French put together. And we'll have those odds out once they do name their squad. Right now, we've got the odds for the Rugby Championship and the All Blacks are favourites at $1.80. The Springboks are out at, I think, $2.20. Boy, oh boy, have the Wallabies fallen. They're the outsider in the Rugby Championship. They're around $15, and the Argentinians are $8. So All Blacks favourites to win the Rugby Championship.
Why is Australia so low? They haven't played the Lions yet, have they? We don't know what sort of form they might have.
It may have something to do with the draw. Of course, we get to play the Springboks, both of the tests here in New Zealand. Australia have to travel to South Africa and play both of the tests over there. Then they have a home and away with us here. And then they get Argentina travelling to Australia. So it might just be the quirk of the draw at the moment.
Where should we put our money this week, mate?
I think the Wars bounce back big time. It was a terrible game for them. That's the worst game they've played all season, up against a very, very weak Panthers side. And punters realised that too. They jumped on the Panthers at $4.40, which meant that they weren't a good result for us. Usually when the Wars lose, it's a great result, but they were hanging out there just too far by bookies at $4.40. So I think they bounced back, even though they have to travel across the ditch to take on the Broncos, who looked a lot better this weekend. I think the Wars have enough firepower to take them down. I think they're at around $2.65 as we speak, the Warriors, to beat the Broncos this weekend.
How about State of Origin, third one, decider?
I think Queensland got away with one in Perth. The penalty count was absolutely ridiculous. It's very, very hard to explain to a New South Wales supporter that they couldn't buy themselves a penalty in that first half. So I think back in Sydney for the third game, I think New South Wales will be on top, and they are significant favourites as well to win Game 3. And I think that's how it'll go.
All right, mate. Well, all the best. And what's the name of your barber? Like he's done a magnificent job there.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, really impressed.
Good haircut.
Yeah.
Pretty sharp.
Yeah. No, I'll let him know. Yeah.
Better camera angle too. I mean, the obviously the beekeeping thing, he took it to heart. He's looking bloody good now. Eh? Yeah. Really.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, there are a few people at the Wires game who mentioned the beekeeper comment. So yeah, it got out there.
It'll go around with you.
Mark runs this sort of self-improvement course through abuse and insults that you sort of just, change the way you look and stuff. Yeah, so I appreciate
it's
that.
a tag for life.
Yeah, it hasn't worked for Rick.
Welcome to the club.
20 years I've been trying to abuse him into shape.
All right, mate. We'll let you go. Take it easy.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Go well.
Have a nice week.
Right, now, just before we go, a chance to pay tribute to our legend of the week. You all know who Sophie Cunningham is?
Yes.
Yep. Oh, you're talking about basketball.
NBA.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
And great hurdler. Great hurdler too.
Great hurdler.
Was she a great hurdler?
Oh, yeah.
Long legs.
Started off in hurling.
Did she?
Yep.
And so what is it about Sophie Cunningham this week that's been special?
Well, she's been a bit
Hurdling.
punchy, hasn't she?
A bit punchy?
Yeah, a little bit stroppy on court.
Would it be support? You all know Caitlin Clark is?
Oh, yeah.
She was more, what's that? Butterfly swimmer.
Yeah, and a basketball player.
Yep.
Who 3-pointers.
And high jump. Did high jump. Started from high jump.
Did she do high jump?
Yep.
Through school.
Is that where they met, at athletics?
Potentially.
I think it was in Cleveland, yeah. They met, what was it, 10 years ago now, I think. Yeah.
Right.
But she's also a basketball player now.
Yeah.
Is there a question in this?
Yeah. Well, there was. So Sophie Cunningham went to the support of Caitlin Clark in a basketball game, WNBA.
Yes.
And sorted out someone.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Amazing.
as a result, her jersey has sold out, and she's got 1 million TikTok followers.
Amazing.
So there was a fight.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
There was a fight.
Just a little bit of
A scuffle.
a scuffle.
retort.
Can we see it?
Yeah. Here it is. Amazing, isn't it?
Oh, okay, so there's another bit of footage that we just got to talk about because you can't get it.
Because I can't afford it.
And you wanted to sort of talk around it and saying there was an incident.
Yeah.
So the people at home who can't see the fucking fight have to assume by there was an incident that there was a fight or something worse.
Exactly. And the last thing I wanted was someone to say, let's have a look at the footage.
Which is why I said it.
Yeah.
Well, have we got any footage of the windscreen wiper going up?
I can probably get
You've
it.
got more chance of getting that, I'd say.
I've got a photo, an after photo.
There you go. It's a starter.
While you're looking at the after photo.
Not of the injury, but of the person. Yeah.
All right. This is Sophie Cunningham.
It's cool. It's funny what kind of people are attracted to. I'm just trying to keep the main thing is that's basketball, trying to win games, sticking up for my teammates. And that's all part of it. I think all that stuff it's fun and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we need to win some basketball games. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.
Why wouldn't you go to AI and actually just do a mock-up of a fight that we could see? Because this,
I want to see, a little mock-up.
We'll just put any footage on, put it on that bloody Harry
Even stick
Kennedy
figures.
fight.
Yeah, put on.
They don't have the rights to that either.
A lot of people don't know that she's actually a black belt, Rick.
A black belt at?
Sort of jiu-jitsu, that kind of stuff.
Taekwondo?
Yep.
Karate?
The martial arts, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I knew that, yeah.
Yeah.
That was after the hurdles.
Yeah.
I believe that's why we're here, Rick, for our knowledge.
Insight.
Yeah, sporting knowledge. So you're looking forward to watching Caitlin Clark play in the WNBA?
We're allowed to watch it.
There's still more games.
You can watch it. We just can't show us
fair
the
enough.
footage.
Yeah, we're allowed to watch it. We're allowed to watch it and then do a show talking about it, but without any reference to it.
You can't.
Yeah.
We haven't got the subscription. We're not allowed to watch it.
We haven't got any guests. We haven't got any rights to any footage, and you're still watching it. That's got to be the end, isn't it?
We've got titles.
Yes, thank God. Roll them.
Can we watch them? Do we have rights to?
We've got rights to our own titles.
Rights to our own titles.